Welcome to Julie's Infinite Playlist. Today we have Forever Starts Today with Christina, Kyle, Troy, Nick, and Nathan. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
How are you?
Good, thank you. And where did the name come from for Forever Starts Today?
We wanted a name for the band that was just something like really positive to go with our message. We're usually a very like happy and upbeat band on stage. You see that in our live performances, and we just wanted to give the idea that you can literally make whatever kind of a future you want for yourself happen as long as you get on it and you get started today. So we picked Forever Starts Today.
Awesome. And how did each of you get into music?
I got into music, I don't know, I got into, middle school band and everything like that, and then while I was in middle school, Guitar Hero came out and everything, and I just started playing that with friends, and I realized playing guitar was a lot more funner than that game, and I was significantly better at real guitar, oddly enough, than Guitar Hero. I'm still garbage at that, so that's what got me into this, pretty much.
I'm better at Guitar Hero than you.
Troy,
Troy will attest to this.
Yeah. Says our drummer.
It's legendary. But my dad's been playing music for 30 plus years. He played in Austin in the 80s and stuff like that. And my brother actually started playing drums. He quit, and we had a drum set in our house. And I was like, well, I'll try this. And I was good at it, and that's how it goes.
Nice.
So according to my mom, for as long as I've been able to walk, I've been getting up onto piano benches and pulling down microphones.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you. I started playing piano when I was fairly young, and I always had a passion for guitar. And so I finally talked my family into letting me get a guitar, too, and so I play guitar and piano and several other instruments, but, yep, it's always seemed to be in my blood or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I should get that checked out.
So, when TRL was still a thing, I saw the music video for What's My Age Again, and it, blew me away, and, ever since that day, I was like, I want to be like Tom DeLonge. So I, begged my parents
He doesn't want to be like Tom DeLonge.
Yeah.
Right.
So I kept begging my parents for, a guitar. So for my birthday, they bought me this, Strat Pack, which was, the amp and the guitar. And I just started playing since then. Wasn't really good, but I did fake playing a lot, where you just, pretend to play
Right.
to the song, but you want to look cool. I did a lot of that, and I still do that.
Not much has changed.
Yeah, carrying on the tradition,
Right.
Bass lights for days.
pretty much.
So when I was in 7th grade, that's when I think Avril Lavigne became a thing. And I really liked her, and I connected with her because I also was, very tomboy and, hung out with the guys and wasn't very popular in school. But she, killed it in front of all these people and was, doing something different. So I really liked her, and then kind of got into, Blink-182 and Green Day from there, and the whole, pop-punk scene, Sum 41 and all that. So I just wanted to be like her and be like them. I thought it was awesome what they were getting to do, and then I made it happen, because Forever Starts Today.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the best part is, if you look at the hashtag of that on Instagram, it's people getting married. So
It is.
it's happy stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's the name has a double meaning of goodness and whatnot, and you get free cake.
Yeah. You guys should start playing weddings.
Actually,
We have.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, one of my managers actually wants us to play her wedding later on this year.
Nice.
And I don't really know if we're going to get paid, but I know we're getting free Torchies and free Myers, so, it doesn't matter at that
That's-
point.
Is there going to be an
worth
open
it.
door?
Yeah?
Yes. That's all that matters.
And how did you guys come together as a band?
One at a time.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's
Pretty much, I was doing open mic nights out at a place called Kick Butt Coffee, and I ran into Christina there one day, and originally I started talking to her because it was the first time I caught somebody there that was doing roughly what my old band was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was networking with her, trying to find a way into the Austin scene, because I live out in Taylor. I'm an hour out, and it was just so hard for me during high school to come out to shows, because I didn't actually listen to pop punk, but funnily enough, I was playing it. Then eventually one of her guitarists dropped out for her solo project, and my band wasn't going anywhere, so I canned my thing, and I hopped on with her.
Nice. Very nice.
So I did my solo project Christina Murphy with Nathan. And then we ended up dropping the solo name and went full band, and then brought on the rest of the guys one by one. And it's been a really good decision. It was a tough decision for me back then, but I would not do it any differently now.
Awesome.
Yes.
And so, kind of talked about it a little bit. What bands were you guys in before? Were you in any bands before Forever Starts Today?
I was only in Christina Murphy, so this is my second one.
I used to be in a band called Carousel Kings. I used to live in New Jersey, so I moved here about a year and a half ago. So I'm still kind of fresh, and I have an accent if you haven't heard yet.
He doesn't say y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you hear it?
Yeah.
Let's go play some basketball.
Stop.
Get some coffee.
One
there.
second. Can you just say the word orange for me?
No.
He says it orange.
Yeah, I have another friend who's from Jersey, and she's like, orange? And I'm like, okay.
Orange. That's only for you. You can edit that out later.
So, Nick and I actually met my freshman year of high school, and so we've been playing in bands forever together. Do you want to touch on that some?
Yeah, so I played with Troy starting sophomore year of high school. He was a freshman. We were just playing just bad, like, metalcore.
Oh,
Just
like everybody's
garbage.
first, like,
Right.
garage
Like
metalcore
Bullet
band.
for My Valentine, As I Lay Dying kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We thought we were really cool.
We played in a church band.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting.
There's videos of that on YouTube. Don't dig that deep.
Yeah,
You'll find them.
don't dig that. Then we kind of stopped. Once I graduated, I did jazz band for a year in college, just because I could get a scholarship for it.
Yeah.
And then whenever I went to college, I quit playing music. And then once I moved down here, which was in September, I picked it back up again and messaged him, and I was like, hey.
Yeah. So before this band, while I was still in school, because all of my free time was being taken up by school, I was just kind of like a bedroom solo project. Never played shows. Like after him and I stopped being in a band together.
Right.
And then I was just perusing a particular Facebook group, and our old drummer had put up an ad looking for a guitar player. I was like, cool, let's give this a shot.
Yeah.
And so I went from playing no shows at all to almost immediately being thrown into the fire of playing a bunch of shows. So that's my story.
And then for my old stuff, whenever I first started making music and everything, I wanted to start up, like, I guess just any old rock band. I was trying to have it geared toward metal, but I was the only person that I knew that could and was willing to try and sing. So I created something called Revenge Is Not a Sin, because I thought the name was cool. And hated emo back then, but we essentially were an emo band. And then...
Why do you do this to yourself?
What do you mean?
Hated emo,
Didn't
plays
listen
an
to
emo
pop
band,
punk.
doesn't listen to pop punk.
Well, hold on. Here's the reason why. Because my friends in high school were deathcore elitists, and actually, whenever that stopped really going anywhere, I joined a deathcore band, and I was in that for like pretty much the majority of high school. And then as soon as I got out, I started pushing my original band more, and it essentially turned into me running a solo project that I was trying to call a band.
Yeah.
And again, that's how I ended up finding Christina at that coffee shop. So
Nice. Very cool. And describe your music that you like to play.
I think it is very peppy and fun and energetic. I personally have the album that we have out right now is called Limitless, and it's a 5-song EP, and all the songs I think are really fun and positive. And this next album that we're working on, getting out here in the next few months, is going to be a little bit more mature sounding, which is going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
So we'll still have that fun aspect, but we're going to touch on a little bit darker of subjects, and I really like where it's heading, so I'm excited for everyone to hear it.
Yeah, that It's exciting.
Yeah.
I love when people are like, new music. I'm like, yes.
Yes.
There's been so much already this
so
year.
much.
So much good
Music.
music. Like, I posted on Facebook like a month ago, if I just took all of the music that just my friends in the music scene have put out this year
Yeah.
and put that in a single Spotify playlist or something, it'd be better than most of the other stuff coming out the rest of
I
the year.
actually have a Spotify playlist specifically for new stuff. I mean, it's not just...
Is it infinite?
Yes, until 2017 ends, it will be infinite. But it's bigger stuff plus all of like the locals. Like I have Nominee on there and everything, just because I was like,
They're
I
the
want
best
all
band in
of it.
Austin.
Who doesn't have
Listen to all of
Nominee?
it, right?
I'm so excited for Lions and Tigers.
Yeah.
Next release though. Oh.
Yeah, them and Gold Steps too. I'm just like, yes, all the music. There was a meme that went around that was like when the world is going to shit, but there's so much good music coming out, and it's like the flames in the background with somebody with headphones on just jamming out. I was like, if this isn't the realest thing that I have seen
Right?
this entire year.
So true.
And normally I ask you guys to describe what your shows are like, but I will say I came in to Swan Dive and you were, Christina, because you can't see because it's a podcast, was all over the place. And I've only seen like one other artist do that in the same way with so much energy. And that's what hooked me immediately. I was like, okay, I'm going to stick around and continue watching this band because that was fantastic.
That's awesome. Thank you.
That's every show too. We
I believe
played
it.
a South by Southwest show at the aquarium, and after the bridge in the last song that we played, she was up on the bar and finished the song like standing on the bar. It was so cool.
Like she did on the table.
Yeah. Like I just look up playing my guitar. I'm like, oh, cool. Christina's on the bar. That's tight.
I do try to find different things at like different venues that I
Yeah.
can climb, or some way that like we can make our shows stand out compared to others. And I've told people like when we play shows, we don't want it to be another event where you pay $10 to go see a band and you're like watching them stand up there and perform.
Yeah.
Like when Forever Starts Today plays, we bring the audience in and like I'll make eye contact and high fives and like I want all of us to like party and do this together.
Yeah.
Because we don't do this, we're not up there just us five just playing because we want to. Like we want to connect with the people in front of us and like just have like a party. So that's awesome that like you say
No,
that. I
definitely-
love it when people
definitely
say
felt like
that. Yeah.
So there was one I got to see 30 Seconds to Mars when they opened for the Used, and it was at Stubbs, and Jared Leto climbed up on the balcony, from the stage. He like monkeyed his way up there, and I was like, oh, she's climbing on this thing like Jared Leto did. That's kind of awesome.
That's cool.
I'm low key really excited for us to play like the stages that have like those things like 21 Pilots climbs up the side of the railings. On the stages.
I noticed at So What Fest there was a ladder up the side on all the meditation. I was like, do not allow ladders
for the lights. It was great. We played So What Fest in Dallas, and we who was it? Me, you. Were you for the the Sickest Kid show? It was like their first show in like 3 years. And their lead singer was like up on the ladder thing, and he was like looking at the sound people. He was like, "Can I?" And they're like, no, you cannot.
That is not something you can do. Sorry.
I just need a wireless mic, and I
Yeah.
will be free.
No one will be safe at that point.
Right. And what's your writing process like?
I'll let Kyle take this.
Well, first, we start with a dozen tacos from Torchy's and 1 case of Topo. And then, I don't know, we normally will just like, one of us will have a riff in our heads, or we'll just grab guitar and track on the computer till we have like a bunch of parts, and then we just form it together for a song. And that's kind of how we wrote the latest album. We would just come home from work or whatever and just track a bunch of riffs or track a song and be like, hey, this is cool. And then immediately send it to Christina so she could start working on lyrics and melodies. And then we would have her come over and lock her in a closet, a little, like a dark closet, and then she would just sing in there. And it would be really creepy.
It was the coat closet because in our apartment it's like 2 feet deep, and we're like, okay, Christina, there's no light in there, so she's literally completely in the dark.
You can't see what you're singing. You just have to do it.
That's how much they love me. Just shove me in the tiny closet.
It really did start with Torchies and Topo for
I believe
pretty
it.
much every song on this
Not
record.
like we want an
Well, not
endorsement, because
everyone.
we really do. We're just throwing it out there, but like this album was fueled by Torchies and Topo.
I mean, what better way to fuel an album?
Yeah.
Not ramen.
Not
Hey, but
snare cymbal.
And who are your influences?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I guess we'll start down here. Christina pointed at me.
Like, Nathan, you take this. Give me some time.
A lot of my influences are like 80s guitar players more. Like Steve Vai is a big one. He was in Whitesnake, and Frank Zappa's band, for anybody who doesn't really know who he is. And for like the more pop punk aspect of my style, I pull a lot from like the Wonder Years. Those are my two primary ones.
Oh man,
It's gonna get weird.
no, not weird. So I come from like a more like funk, jazz background. So like I do a lot of like classics. So like Steve Gadd, Dave Weckl, Thomas Pridgeon, who is in the Mars Volta, is a beast. I can't play like him, but I like to watch him play. And then kind of more like metal. August Burns Red, Matt Greiner.
Lil Yachty.
No.
Lil Yachty is everybody's influence, obviously.
But yeah, Matt Griner's a big one. Matt Halpern from Periphery. I want to say Matt Gartzka, but I can't play like him. But he's from Berkeley, so he knows how to teach people.
Yeah.
So anything that he usually puts out, I usually watch.
Nice. Very nice.
So I was raised on mostly classic rock music, which is awesome. And so one of my earliest influences as a guitar player, my two earliest influences were Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin and Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day.
Who?
Contains rage.
He's so bad.
So I have a lot of my roots in like classic rock and early Green Day. And as of late, I actually listen to a lot of progressive metal in my free time when I'm not listening to all of my friends, which is most of the time.
Right. Obviously.
So like Aaron Marshall, who's the brainchild behind the band Intervals, he's my favorite guitar player on the planet at the moment, followed closely by Pliny, who's an Australian guy. Nick Johnston, he's another Canadian guitar player. You look like you're about to start laughing. Yeah, so mostly progressive metal when it's not like Nominee or Dozer or Lions Tigers.
Right.
The Idle Kind, actually, I was jamming their new record and I was like, oh, this is tight, and I started writing something new based on their record. So shout out the Idle Kind.
I accidentally almost stole one of Lions and Tigers' new songs.
Yep, I was there.
That was, it was kind of bad. And, like, I didn't realize it whenever I wrote it because I was like, oh, tight, this sounds like Chon. And then while Troy and I were tracking it, trying to just, like, see what else we could come up with, we were like, oh, wait a minute, this is their new song, Reflections. Crap.
Well, I gotta scrap that.
Yeah.
Start from the drum
I even told
board.
Alex about it. He was like, oh, that's tight. You gotta show it to me.
So I was like raised on 3 bands, AC/DC, The Police, and Enya. And then
Seriously?
and then I was like, for the different style, like pop rock, pop punk, it was mainly like Phoenix TX, Newfound Glory, and Blink-182 that just like got me in the style, and I was like just obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So basically those 3. Still Enya.
Yeah. I mean,
And Toto.
you're never gonna get rid of Enya.
No.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, so I said before my first inspiration was like Avril Lavigne, but I know this is crazy to think of, but I actually like love rock bands with chick singers. I have a weakness for it. I don't know. I know.
Christina.
And so I almost solely listen to that, which take that
Elitist.
as you'd like, whatever. So I'm really into like Against the Current right now, who's going on tour with State Champs. We're all gonna go see them this week.
Day after Kyle's birthday, actually.
Yeah.
At Emos.
And
Sweet.
Tonight Alive and We Are the In Crowd and Paris and all those. So
I love Paris.
yeah.
I got to see them open for Fall Out Boy
Ooh.
last year.
That's tight.
And it was Paris, Fall Out Boy, and why can I not think of the name?
Clearly someone very memorable.
Yeah.
Whoever else was on tour.
There were 3 bands.
Yes.
Yes.
But Paris is. I love how big their sound is. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And they also have new music, some possibly coming out this year too. So yeah,
I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
Yeah.
Then Paramore and
So,
can I ignore that?
Yeah, just ignore Nathan for now.
He's already kicked out.
that's
It's
fine.
no longer in the band. It's on record.
Nick and I are starting a trap group anyways. I'm going to be Nate Too Short, and he's going to be Nick Too Tall, and that's our rapper name. So we're not.
So we are looking for a
Wouldn't
new
it be better,
guitarist
though,
and
if
drummer.
you were Nate too tall and he was Nick too short.
I don't know. Oh
I'm,
yeah, it might be.
I'm way too tall.
Yeah, we just had a photo shoot and we had to we're gonna have to Photoshop half his body.
It's just his chin and down.
And how do you think pop punk has changed in the last 15 years?
I'm trying to remember what year it is.
I can't really answer that one. Again, I didn't follow it.
I don't,
Excluding Nathan from this question.
I feel like now it's subgenres of it.
Yeah.
It's not really changed. There's just different kind of variations to it.
Yeah.
But it's still popular and kids play it. It's always going to be around. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it was back in the early 2000s. It was the 3-4 piece bands, just simple, just pretty much your straight punk with a little bit of kind of just chorusy, nice melody and stuff like that. But I think the introduction of all the electronics
Yeah.
and all the synth and all that
It's
stuff
gotten
is
popular.
added into it and kind
Yeah.
of grown it. So it's not really, you can do pop punk, but then you can do what Dozier does, which is pretty much just straight, just hardcore, just pretty much punk rock.
Yeah.
Or more like us, where we have a bunch of synth pop stuff.
Well, yeah, I don't want to classify us as yo, we're pop punk or we're pop rock. I mean, yeah, there's some catchy parts, but we just play what we want to play.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what it comes down to. And then there's electronic synths and stuff to kind of deviate from everything else. But
Yeah.
we just play what we want to play.
I feel like there's when it comes to what's generally classified as pop punk these days, you have the more metalcore style
Right.
with a lot more breakdowns,
Easycore.
heavier guitars, easycore, right? And then you have the pop rock side, which not saying that's where we solely fit, but that's
Closer.
closer to what we're doing. I think really one of the only true punk rock bands right now is Dozer.
Yeah.
Those guys do it right.
Yeah.
I kind of like the take that some of the other bands are doing now, where they're adding an ambience to it, but they still have that, the 2-step feels and everything like that, and the drums. So hitting Subset, I don't know if you know about that or not, but they have that ambient feel, and also the bands that are taking the pop punk tone and a little bit of the darkness of more hardcore.
Yeah.
And then they're also making the lyrics very emotional, very heartfelt, and they're not just writing about hanging out with friends.
Right.
They're writing about some deeper emotional stuff, and that's always been something I've been a bigger fan of.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why I really like what Christina writes a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And who do you listen to that you think would surprise people? Gonna start with Troy.
Oh, I've got a good one
careful.
for you. So this is what I usually classify as my... Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
I usually classify this as my guilty pleasure, even though I'm not ashamed of it whatsoever. And I'll challenge somebody to throw this down with me. In Sync.
Tight.
You put on that No Strings Attached
You just
record.
became my best friend. You realize that, right?
You want to go do karate in the garage?
Yes, let's do that. Yeah, no, all through high school, that was my main obsession.
That was my first concert. Was In Sync.
It was my third, only because I'd seen Cher and the Backstreet Boys before then.
Okay.
Cheated on NSYNC.
In Sync or Backstreet Boys?
In Sync.
Okay, thank you. We're
I
cool.
mean,
Not walking out of this interview.
Right. I mean, Justin Timberlake is amazing, and everything he does is fantastic. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure he sneezes better than everybody else.
Yeah, probably.
Oh man. Okay, so I listen to a lot of EDM, a lot of trap, a lot of really bad mumble rap, jazz.
So Lil Yachty then?
Lil Yachty, Migos, Future, Lil Uzi, Extension, Suicide Boys, Puya, Fat Nick, Yeah, I can list them all.
Did we say we need a new drummer?
Hey, that's where I get all my freaking banger beats, dude.
Because that's the only good things about those songs.
But yeah, so I listen to everything from like metalcore. I go to raves. I go to bad rap concerts. I listen to everything.
I went to a rap show like I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's Super Duper Kyle.
Oh, I
That's
love
not-
it.
yeah.
Yes, I love
I
it.
know him.
So they were playing a bunch of like Migos and stuff before, and I was like, I don't listen to any of this at all, but that's okay because
Kyle's good. He reminds me of early Childish Gambino.
My Facebook profile picture is a picture of me and him because I'm that person who will wait outside for an hour after the show just to try to meet whoever's there.
Fair.
I don't care that I'm 32. I'm gonna do it. So yeah.
My first show. Oh, real quick. My first show as in FST, we opened for 2 DJs.
Yeah, that was funny. Me and my cousin ended up going and like twerking like by the stage just to mess with them.
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, I don't know if you can even call it like a guilty pleasure or something that people would be surprised by. But I'm a little monster. Like Gaga is queen. So
She is queen.
True.
yeah,
This is very true.
Gaga is just like my all-time favorite. Katy Perry can go wherever. I don't know. Go cheat on Russell Brand again. I don't know.
We won't go there.
I think the only thing that I can say that people would be surprised about me is I really like music, like Latino music, like
Dude, that
Enrique
stuff's tight,
Iglesias and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I put it on my Pandora.
Christina's blushing so hard. She hit me and I didn't even say
I
anything.
know everybody in this room is like surprised, but I do have Enrique Iglesias as in like my top 5.
Michelle's burying her head back there. Look at that.
I don't know. I like the music and the attitude and like the beat in those songs.
Yeah.
And I can understand some of them, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it.
What's that? My dad has played in Tejano bands my whole life, and every once in a while I'm like, okay, I'll just listen to this. It's cool.
Yeah.
You have to throw on some Selena every once in a while.
Have you heard of Pinata
Yeah.
Protest?
I actually have. I haven't listened to them, but I've heard of them.
Dude, they're so tight.
I've heard that.
It's Tejano punk. It's so tight.
Yeah.
Joy, no one cares about your opinion. Stop laughing at me.
I'm a huge Frank Sinatra fan.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know all his lyrics, and whenever I'm in traffic, I have to put them on so I don't get pissed. And he calms me down, so that's actually how I learned all his songs.
Yeah.
Because I'm always
Jersey
pissed. I'm always pissed, so I just naturally put them on, and I love Frank Sinatra. That's that.
Old Blue Eyes.
And Africa.
Toto, forever.
Come to our show early if you want to see how much we love Toto.
So my friend actually did Africa for karaoke one night, and I was like, this song is amazing, and for whatever reason that song has been following me everywhere now.
Good.
Like it comes up randomly, but it's so good that I don't care. Like, why have I not heard this song more often before the last 6 months?
It was
I
great.
actually feel the same way because I hate to admit it, but when they played it, I was like, "What is this crap?" I didn't say "What's this crap," but I was like, "No, I didn't say that." I was just like, "What? Why is everyone freaking out about this?" And then they started playing it as like one of our opening song things, whatever, and like everybody in the audience was all crazy about it.
That's a good song. Have you seen the video of Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell that they made for it?
I need to.
They made a music video for it, and it's fantastic.
I know, we're going to watch when we get home.
Honestly though, the only reason why I know about it was I was in show choir my last year in high school, and they wanted to do this song, and so I've sang it before. That's the only reason why I know about it. Yeah. Well, I wasn't really a choir nerd. I was a band nerd, but I wanted to be in show choir.
Yeah. Show choir is probably pretty cool. We tried to be a show choir in my high school. Didn't happen.
Yeah, tried is a very accurate response to what.
Are we going
my
through why
school
we know
did.
Toto? I know Toto because whenever it gets at 1 a.m. at a karaoke bar, usually someone sings that song
somebody
and
puts it
everybody
on.
belts it out.
Yeah.
That, Journey, and Garth Brooks.
Yeah. Anybody else need to weigh in on Toto before we?
Totally.
And if you could write a song with anyone alive or dead, who would it be? Nick, you start.
Ooh, gotcha.
Does it have to be a single person?
No.
so it can be a group of people.
Yes.
Okay. Hendrix on guitar. Dave Brubeck on piano. Jocko on bass. And Dio as vocals.
Ooh.
He's thought about this many, many times. He was prepared.
Oh, we're going to me now?
Yeah.
Okay. If we're gonna do like lineups like that, I need I need Tyler Carter on them vocals.
Ooh.
God.
Shout out our shoes.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, God.
And Steve on guitar, obviously, he's just mastermind. If I had the chance to work with him, I'd probably improve tenfold just from being in the room with him.
Yeah.
And honestly, those are like the primary two that I would really want to work with. Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Troy?
You're still thinking.
I'm still thinking, man. That's a good question.
Yeah, that
we
is a
haven't
good
been
question.
asked that one yet.
I only need one person. My man, Phil Collins.
Ooh,
Boy.
That's it.
Ooh.
Genesis or solo act?
Both. Just Phil Collins.
It's like Justin Timberlake. That. Come on, let's just do this. We can do it with everybody, or it can be just Justin.
The man wrote Susudio. He can do no harm.
So I'll go with. It would either have to be going back to my influences, either Led Zeppelin or Green Day. I've done a dream lineup before, but I won't bore you with that right now. But that'd be tight. Getting to do anything with either one of those bands, or just like awkwardly standing outside there, two of us. Would be tight too.
I think I'd also kind of like to work with St. Vincent, just because I'm starting to really like really dirty indie kind of music, and the way she does things on guitar just is so fresh to me.
Yeah.
And she just like slaps on as much distortion as possible and plays on like a old silver tone. Well, now she's with Music Man, but besides the point. And yeah, she just makes like really indie poppy stuff with kind of like darker lyrics, but then she'll just pull out these really nasty guitar leads, and I'm just like, this is tight.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear Jared Leto sing a muffin recipe. I think he could make that sound pretty good.
He probably could. Let's call Jared Leto right now.
I was actually thinking the same thing as Troy. I think I would pick Billy Joe from Armstrong. Sorry.
From Armstrong.
Well, it's like 10 o'clock at
You
night.
listen to too much Latino music. Your mind's going everywhere.
Anyway, I just feel like he would put a lot of like focus on like helping me get a song that would be out like best for Forever Starts Today.
Right.
I like even with their live performances, he always like pulls a kid up on stage or like does something just like I was talking about, like involving the audience, and so I just get like a really good vibe from that, and I think it'd be cool to write a song with him.
I've seen like some of the best bands ever, like the Rolling Stones, Van Halen, like Black Sabbath. Green Day puts on the best show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And
Are you
it's,
going to see him in August?
of course. I was going to say something else, would not be interview appropriate. But yes, I will be seeing them.
This will be my second time seeing them. I'm very excited for it. Last time was in Houston, which was gross, but the show was fantastic. So, what's your favorite venue to play?
I loved playing at the Belmont here in Austin.
Very
They have
nice.
an awesome light setup, and the whole place is just so open.
I don't think I've actually been in the Belmont yet.
It's a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
We
on
haven't
West 6th.
played there in a while. Yeah, but that's fine.
I think currently I really like playing Grizzly Hall.
Yeah.
That one's tight.
Yeah.
And they renovated Dirty Dog again for like the fourth time in 2 years. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine because it keeps getting better. It doesn't get worse. It just gets so much better.
Yeah.
And I really like playing the new setup that they have at Dirty Dog because they have a walkway right above the monitors now, so you can just jump up there and go nuts and everything. Christina and I abused that so hard the last time we played Dirty
Oh,
Dog.
yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
I would say Grizzly, for sure.
Yeah.
Now that Sidewinder is Sidewinder, that place is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, Grizzly Hall, which is now Come and Take It Live.
Oh, it is?
Mhm.
That's a nice name. Well, that's a pretty name.
I like them all.
Okay.
For me, I like Profit Bar in Dallas just because that's where I'm from and the stage is awesome. But fun one, Alamodome. Yeah.
I've done that. All three of us done that one.
Yeah.
You right?
Yeah.
Except you
State
punks.
state marching. Yeah, we did state marching competition there and playing in front of there was about 5,000-6,000 people.
I low key have
I,
huge residual beef with these two.
Sang in Carnegie Hall.
that's sick.
With like 4 other choirs. It was like a big thing of choirs.
Yeah, I know, big deal. You know, it's
It's
not
a big deal.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. It was it's beautiful, obviously, so that was cool to see. And what's your favorite song to cover?
that one's kind of hard.
I actually think we covered Story of the Year Until the Day I Die. And that one, like, anytime we'd start just playing that first guitar riff, like, everybody would be like, hell yeah. It'd be like a completely different audience
Yeah.
when we start playing our own stuff. So that one's fun.
All the people only wearing black just all of a sudden storm the stage.
We played at this venue in Corpus Christi called Bone Shakers, which is like a total dive bar, like biker bar.
Right.
We start playing that like in the middle of our set, and like all the dudes with beards like look out.
It's like,
Nice.
what's that sound?
I'm
Sounds kind of like
interested
metal.
to hear what Kyle says because he doesn't like covers.
I don't like covers. But I don't know. I guess like lately the one that we've been playing is "Emergency" by Paramore. That's like one of my favorite songs by them.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
I definitely enjoyed y'all's cover of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You started playing it, and I was like, yeah.
Yes.
I was waiting to see if anyone knew it. I was like, doesn't matter. I like it. That's all that matters.
My favorite would probably be the one that we've consistently played more than just accidentally, I guess, would be Make Damn Sure We're Taking Back Sunday. But the other one I'm talking about is we played Damn It by Blink a few times. A couple rare instances where that song has happened, and that's always just a lot of fun.
I've
Yeah.
literally walked off the stage every single time because I don't know it. Like, I know it's an easy song, but, like, if we're doing it at the end of a set randomly, that's not enough time for me to just, like, learn it well enough to not screw it up.
The first time we played it was our CD release show last March, and I think like 3 different people played your guitar.
Yeah, my guitar got passed around a lot. I could have sworn
Chris from Nominee.
Yeah, I think he was the first one to take it. I think I saw Sherman with it.
I was
and
going to
then-
say, did Sherman grab it?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. And then one other person, and I was just kind of standing there, and it wasn't really dawning on me that it was happening, and they told me to go stage dive, and so I did.
And it's in our Limitless music video. It was that night. And
Yeah.
you can see Nathan stage diving, leaving the stage.
Out the back of the venue.
Sprawled
Pretty
out.
much, yeah. I just straight up put my arms out like cross style, and they just carried me backwards perfectly. And I remember just staring up at the ceiling and being like, "This is weird." And I'm like, "There goes my band, bye guys."
I'd have to go with Until the Day I Die as well, just because that was like one of the first covers, but I knew from them. But throwing it back to whenever me and Troy, we had a friend in Germany called Timo, and he knew like all like the As I Lay Dying, Lamb of God songs. So my favorite song to cover is what is it?
Is it that As I Lay Dying song?
No, it's a Lamb of God song. What is it called?
Redneck.
No, not Redneck. I know that one. I gotta look it up.
While
That's
he's
right.
while
Well-
he's looking that one up, my favorite one to cover actually is Christina and I do Banner by Lights acoustically whenever we get the chance to. And originally I was doing that on my own because I was super into Lights, and still am. I'm so stoked for her next album.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Whenever Christina and I do it, we just like keep hitting these harmonies that are just absolutely gorgeous, and I just go nuts every time I hear it.
That's fun.
Very nice.
Lamb of God. Oh, Lamb of God, Laid to Rest.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that one's
The good old days.
great.
I think Kyle would like to lay to rest.
What the Sorry.
Time for Kyle's sleepy time tea.
Dude, way off track with this.
Almost done. It's almost done. Where can we find your music? Spotify, I think, has been mentioned.
Yes. You can definitely check us out. Follow us on Spotify. You can listen on YouTube, Amazon,
Apple
Google
Music.
Play. Yeah, iTunes. We're everywhere.
On our website.
Yeah. You can.
But shoot for Spotify first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow us on
Trying to
Spotify.
push that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Spotify a lot.
Yes.
I use it
Convenient.
all, like, probably 99% of my day, because I sleep with music on, so.
Fair.
Do you guys have any upcoming shows?
May 8th, Daisy Head, Fossil Youth, playing with our buddies in Burning Years, and potentially one other friend band that I don't have. I can't talk about yet.
That's here in Austin too, at Sidewinder.
I
And then May 11th, we're going to be at the Dirty Dog Bar with Hole and a Half and Home Above. And then we even have some in San Marcos and Fort Worth in May. But you can check out all of our information for our shows on our website, foreverstartstoday.net/shows. So,
Perfect.
Follow us on bands in town as well.
Bands in town.
It'll let you know when our band is in town.
What a neat app.
I know. Follow us on the Facebooks.
Right.
We'll poke you.
Kyle will.
Hope.
Kyle will poke you.
The song is called Always Hope. It's going to be one of the new songs off our next record.
Yeah, it's a new one.
Alright, here we go.
There's no way out. Beaten down, it's a guaranteed knockout, and nothing really seems worth it anymore. People say the truth will set you free, but what has the truth ever done for me? Can someone tell me what it's all for? 'Cause I've been lied to for so long, held down by feelings I've got down wrong. 'Cause I'll fight these demons and bury the past, shatter their voices in the aftermath of everything that's worth fighting for. There's always hope. 'Cause I know I'm worth so much more, and there's always hope. And I don't even know myself at all without the will to tear down my own wall. The rest of the world, it just feels so small. And people say the truth will set you free. What has the truth ever done for me? Can someone tell me what it's all for? 'Cause I've been lied to for so long, held down by feelings I've got down wrong. 'Cause I'll fight these demons and bury the past, shatter their voices in the aftermath of everything that's worth fighting for. There's always hope. 'Cause I know I'm worth so much more, and there's always hope. I'll fight these demons and bury the past, shatter their voices in the aftermath of everything that's worth fighting for. There's always hope. 'Cause I know I'm worth so much more, and there's always hope.
Very nice, very nice. Yay! Thank you for listening to Julie's Infinite Playlist. To support the podcast, please rate and review on Stitcher and subscribe via Patreon. That's patreon.com/Julie's Infinite Playlist. The podcast was created by Julie Roth and is produced, mixed, and edited by Julie with help from Nick Colbert. Special thanks to Nikki Nadeau. All songs performed are property of the musicians performing them.